I share the stage with these wonderful women to share my story of men, money, and me. So men and money, you can't live with and you can't live without, right? Hallelujah. So what happened is I didn't come from a golden spoon in my mouth. I really worked through life. So I want to just cut to the chase and share my story with you. My parents were divorced when I was 11. And I was made to choose whether I wanted to be my dad or my mom, and I chose to be my mom because I felt that my mom had more money than my dad, so I would then have a better life. So I was then conditioned. I think then my mom had a very tough time. And if she knew better, she would have done better. And how I was brought up is, a man is my financial plan. And so I grew up with that belief, and so I became a stewardess because through that, it's an easy way to find rich men, right? So I was there as a stewardess for 10 years. But as a teenager, I struggled a lot as well because my mom was divorced and she spent a lot of time outside, so I was left on my own. So I got involved with bad company. I was involved with drugs and I stayed away from home. And I remember it was so painful one day when I decided to come home and I found the policeman on the door of my grandma's house. So I'm like, what the hell's going on? Why did the police come? So I remember I was being handcuffed, taken into the police station and got into the cell, the jail or whatever you call it. And because I was only 16, I was the only one, so the police people let me on. I was having a conversation with them till early in the morning. So I think my mom regretted and she pleaded with the judge and then I was let off the hook. So then she sent me to the States and I couldn't take my time with my family there because they were such horrible people. I had to study and I had to work in that restaurant. And finally I took the courage and I had to leave home. I came back, got my N-levels, O-levels, and I decided I was going to fly because of the belief, right? I wanted to find a rich man and therefore I can have an easier life. So being at the age of 20, you fly and the world is so colorful, and then you got involved with drinks and the party scene, and then I became alcoholic. I thought I would just retire there being a stewardess, and I thought making 2005 was such a huge deal. Making 5 figures, 6 figures was just the other passengers could do it. When my colleagues were carrying Chanel bags, she must have slept with someone else. So that's how we were brought up. It's all from the men. The women cannot do it. So finally, I had a child before I got married. It was just a conspiracy therapy, a conspiracy plan to get my husband to marry me. And so I had my child, and after that I decided to be a stewardess again. I went to Cathay because that was the only thing I knew how to do. And so I thought I was going to retire, and then it was so painful because every day you wake up, you will gossip about the crew, you will gossip about passengers, and I thought to myself, there must be something more to this than life than to just wake up and gossip and just talk about someone else. So I decided to do something else, and that's when I started my spiritual journey. I was a spiritual junkie. I went involved with the healing therapy and so on. I said, okay, this is what I was going to do. So one thing led to the other, and then I decided to have a child, and then I had to quit, and I got depression because what's a child doing right now when I wanted to start a business? So I really wanted to just kill myself. I seriously wanted to kill myself. But being spiritual, you know that you need to have the permission from God and your soul. So the last thing I want to do is jump off the building and then to find that, oh God, I can't walk, and this was more terrible than death. So I decided to not die. It's not a choice because I still woke up. A book changed my life, Conversations with God by Neil Donald Walsh. So fast forward to today, I have a multiple 6-figure business with international clients. But this did not happen overnight. I really had to work my butt, and it all begins with a decision and a desire. I was so sick and tired of just struggling. I was so sick and tired of having $1 days in my bank. A woman does not stand up. A woman does not make a decision until she is sick and tired of her life. You can have whatever you want in life. You can. Success is for everyone, but not everyone will do it because it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable getting out of the comfort zone. It's uncomfortable dressing up to get here. But only you can do it. I can tell you the entire success strategies, but only you can make that decision to do it for yourself. You don't have to tolerate. You know what pains my heart? Is when women look at the milk powder and say, $10 increased price, oh my God. Oh, and then they complain. How would life be like for you? I really hated myself. Every time I had to spend money, there was this, in my tummy. You know, I looked at someone else's nails before I had fancy nails. Oh, you know, she can have it. I need to save my $100 for milk powder and diapers because those were more important. I was not as important. You know, it's just not good enough for me. And then finally I decided, you know what, I was just gonna do it. And the moment I decided to have fancy nails, it's not for you, it's for me. My business took off. Why? Because I honored myself. I honored my desires, I honored my soul. So one day I found myself crying in the corner room and I was asking God, I was really angry with God. Why is it so miserable? I have a gift, I have a talent, I'm not an evil person. All I want to do is make money and share my gifts with the world. Why is it so difficult? You know, of course, in the spiritual realm, you meditate and just close your eyes and see the white light coming to you. And there you go. I tried all that, trust me, I tried all that. It didn't work, okay? So I made that decision. I told God, you know what? This is enough. I'm going to do whatever it takes legally and morally to do whatever it takes to succeed. From then onwards, boom, I decided at 8 months pregnant, I went through a 3 days startup weekend with a woman, 36 hours, 56 hours actually, crazy, I was there every day. People remembered me because I was so huge. And then third week into confinement, I decided to go networking. My husband thought I was crazy, everybody thought I was crazy, but because I decided to show up, somebody nominated me for Extraordinary Woman and I got an award. And it's just so comforting. I came from nowhere to where I am today. So I know I'm only like 5 minutes. So with that, I actually want to share with you and inspire you. You're just a thought away from success. Success is around the corner. Success is not for those who are weak. Success are not for those who have a weak heart. You can have success. If you woke up today and know that your gift can inspire someone, you know how I know you have a gift? Because you're still alive. You have gifts and talents. You have something that I cannot do. I have something obviously you cannot do. Right? But when you awake to that gift within yourself, and when you allow and give yourself that permission to shine, you literally change the world because you became the best version of yourself. And with that, I really sincerely wish that you decide to up-level from wherever you are and be the best version of yourself. It doesn't matter, you know, it doesn't have to be go buy that Hermes bag. Perhaps it's just going for that massage. Perhaps it's just giving yourself that alone time. Perhaps it's just reading a book. You need to give yourself that permission. You know, I tell my clients, you have to be selfish before you can be selfless. You cannot give what you don't have. In order for you to shine, you have to give yourself that permission. You have that gift. You are worth millions. Thank you. This is Elizabeth.
Wow.